do the switcheroo with these record. They look cool, but
They do look cool.
They're useless though. The things they stick. Well, okay, show me up then. They stick, and they are annoying, but they do look cool. I have them everywhere. I got them from Kmart.
Kmart. I love Kmart.
I love Kmart too in the morning.
Yeah, I love Kmart for anything.
Yeah, I'm a big Kmart fan. I do have a Raymond complex. You know, I've got to go to Kmart, but yeah, I definitely like Kmart.
Yeah, I love Kmart too.
Out of hours.
Yes.
Out of hours, Kmart is the best Kmart.
At night, I
Yeah,
reckon.
like 2 a.m. Kmart.
Oh, 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's like
Wow.
party and adventure Kmart. Because what are you doing up at 2 a.m. and why are you at Kmart? And you're like, oh, it's because I need to buy coasters and cushions.
Well, it's actually interesting because you'll find that a lot of mums tend to go around that time, or maybe not 2 o'clock in the morning, but like around 12.
Yeah.
Because they've left their kids and like, I'm going to go shop. I'm going to go relax. My sister used to do that all the time.
Yeah, so did
Yeah.
my sisters actually.
Yeah?
Oh, not my sisters. No, it was just my one of my sisters did that. And she used to drive around when the kids would be too much energy. She'd drive them around,
Yeah.
send them to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law and his partner, they've just had a baby,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, they're going through all of those things now, and they look like they're having fun. I think some parents look like they're having fun, but some parents they don't look like they're having fun. Some have children thrust upon them.
Yes.
Me, I don't know. I think I'm too big of a child of myself to look after another. I'm difficult already. Oh yeah, totally. I'm a danger to myself. Not really. Not really, Dad. If you're listening, I'm totally fine. I'm just joking. Yeah. So this is our zero segment. This is what I call the zero segment.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just doing our warm up, and then we'll do
Okay.
the intro.
Awesome.
Yeah. What else is open late at night other than Kmart?
Takeaway food.
Takeaway food, yeah. I always get this one. What's that Mexican place? Gozman's?
Oh, yeah.
Gomez?
Yep.
Yeah, those guys.
Gomez, yeah.
Yeah, they're open.
Yeah.
I'm more of a, what's the other guy? Zambreros? I love those guys.
I don't think I've actually gone there before. I've gone to Gomez, but not Sombrero.
Yeah, Gomez is more like nachos.
Franchisee, yeah.
And Sombreros is more burrito.
Okay.
They make an awesome burrito. Yeah, I love going to places like that and I go just run it through the garden, man. Just give me everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, I always like making.
I love a Frangos. Frangos is good.
What's
You
that
have
one?
Frangos?
No, I haven't had that one.
It's like it's a Portuguese chicken.
Oh yeah, I've had Portuguese.
Yeah.
I've had Portuguese chicken before.
They're
yeah.
open till late. They're good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that sort of thing. So my wife, they got me into that. I used to be such a
Did you?
bland, boring person until I met my wife.
Yeah.
When it comes to
See,
food.
It's opposite with me and my husband. He doesn't like. He's very simple, very basic. Where I like all exotic things and sauces and.
Yeah, well, she gave me, I was like that.
Yeah.
Very much so, but now I have a flavour for things. And the other thing I realised as well is as you get older, your palate changes.
Yes, definitely.
I used to hate wine, and now I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like you got to get the right type of wine though.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
When you're just drinking
For
wine to
you.
get, when you're
Yeah.
drinking wine to get pissed, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
but if you're drinking it to complement a meal,
Yeah.
you got to pick a good
Yeah,
wine.
that's true.
Definitely. I'm a Shiraz man though. I love my Shiraz. Yeah.
I like Cap Sav.
Cap Sav.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't mind the Merlots.
Yeah, Merlot's nice.
Merlots are
Merlot
nice in
wine.
betweener.
Yeah.
It's fit for all purposes, Merlot.
Yeah.
Shiraz, you need to really have a steak with it.
I actually add Coke into the Shiraz
What?
to give it a different. It's called a Bumbles.
A Bumbles.
A Bumbles.
Oh man, I'm writing this down.
It's actually really nice. So it's like a typical European drink that they drink every day. So they make their own house wine, and
Yeah.
then they pour Coke into it,
Yeah.
and it's called a Bumbles.
Yeah.
actually really
Wow.
nice.
Okay. So I suppose it makes it effervescent and.
It actually tastes a lot better. I think it does. But
Okay. You're not having me on. I'm going to go do this. You're like, Jess is crazy, man. Yeah, I'm gonna text you and you go, I gotcha. You
good.
did it, didn't you?
it's good. Yeah.
Well, what I've been doing lately, actually, COVID brought this on, is mimosas. Do the mimosas. So,
Mimosa.
yeah.
I had a mimosa actually.
Yeah, half orange juice, half champagne.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
no.
fantastic. Socially acceptable at 9 a.m.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I look at my wife and go, "You got any Zoom meetings today?" She'd be like, "No Zoom meeting today." I'm like, "Great. Well, let's bacon and eggs, mimosa. Start the working day."
Yeah.
At the start of COVID though, we had to put a drinks limit on our day because
Yeah.
we were like kids.
It was
that
easy to do over COVID, I think.
totally.
Yeah.
It's easy to get out of hand.
Yeah.
So it was
You
two
get
drinks.
bored.
Yeah, you
Like
do.
you're going to do so much so far, and you're like, well, what should we do now? Let's have a little bit of fun. But
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, my wife, she has the top floor. I have the bottom floor.
Oh, nice.
So she's all up there. It's all very different up there. It's all minimalist.
Okay.
Down here is all chaos. So it's very yin and yang. Yeah, but I think we're ready to go. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's kick this
Let's do
off. All right, you ready to go, Mr. Wayne? Yep. All right, and welcome to the Pager Train. Today I have in the studio with me actor, person extraordinaire, Jess Arabi. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good. Did I get your last name right?
You did. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm really I'm excited about that. For our long-time listeners, they'll know that I have a problem with last names. Yeah, often do. But you got recently to put the nines on and go walk the red carpet at in Liverpool.
Yep.
For the premiere of Atomic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So how was that?
It was really good. Like it was a bit of both worlds I got to experience because I helped James organise all the premiere. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the second I came in, I had to kind of organise everything and be like, James, come on, we've got to go, it's time. But then sitting back and watching it, it felt really rewarding because it was such a long process to get there. Like it pretty much took us like 2 years to get to that point. Mm-hmm. But it was good. Like I think everyone worked really well. It was good to just catch up with everyone as well too and just enjoy the film.
Yeah.
Enjoy all the work that you've done, you know. You sit back and you're like, wow, like it took that much to film and there's all this process and all this stuff has happened. And I mean, James did a phenomenal job and all the actors did a really good job too. So it was good.
An insane amount of work.
It is.
An insane amount of work. So you guys shot that in like 16 days over a year?
I think it was around, yeah. So I can't actually remember how many days. It was a while ago, but it was like every Saturday and then some Sundays. But we would start from like 5 o'clock in the morning and sometimes finish at like 12 o'clock at night.
Jeez.
And then be like 3-4 different locations some days and we just go.
Man, I've got to say, Atomic Kingdom's locations were absolutely amazing. They were absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
All these underground pipes and all these futuristic scenes, these post-apocalyptic nature pieces, because he did all that augmentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you might be able to pull some of that. Can you check out some Atomic Kingdom for me while we're talking about this, Mr. Wade? It's just, I don't even know how he did all of that. Like, how would he do all of that in how much time?
Well, I just think like a whole part of it was he had such a clear vision as to what he wanted it to look like. Mm-hmm. And he was very adamant at finding locations he wanted. And he did put it out to a lot of us out in the group going, hey guys, this is what I'm looking for. Does anyone know of anything or know of something like that? So for example, like the Cropley House, that was something. I was getting married at the time and we had actually had another mansion, but then that fell through. And then I was like, hey, why don't you check out the Cropley House? Here's their details, give them a call. And they were like, yeah, sure, come along. And so we were able to film there.
I got a strange story about the Cropley House, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, I shot a commercial for them.
Did you?
Yeah, I shot a promo for them.
Yeah, because that was around the time that they reopened, I think, because they had a renovation or something like that.
Yeah. You probably watched one of my promos when you're looking at
Probably.
it. Yeah, that's awesome. That is a nice venue, though.
It's a beautiful
it's
venue,
pretty. I would describe it as majestic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely majestic. All those white finishes and the pillars and the staircases. And they had that those fancy dining rooms.
They do.
From memory. Yeah. And lovely gardens as well.
Beautiful gardens.
Yeah. That's a really good idea. Because I was there.
Yeah.
So I always go to places and like I could shoot a movie here.
Yeah.
And I never thought that you could get away with shooting a sci-fi at that venue.
Right. Yeah.
That's very clever.
Yeah.
But what other sort of venues did you guys come across?
So where we filmed underground, where all the pipes were and stuff, that was actually under an RSL. So that was like a car park, a private car park of like the owners or the workers, whatever, it's underground of an RSL. It was in Cabramatta.
Yeah, wow.
So right near the train station, there's an RSL there, and we were literally like downstairs.
I thought it was like a waterworks or something like that.
No.
So it's just something as simple as an RSL.
Yeah, underneath an RSL.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You get all of that out of a basement in an
know,
RSL. That is
yeah.
just awesome.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fantastic.
So if you can find that one, Mr. Wade. Oh, there we go. I think
That's the one there,
That's
yeah.
it there.
Yeah, that's underneath the
Chuck,
RSL.
that's a line. Number 3, mate. Yeah, so that's underneath the RSL as well? Or is that, that's a warehouse.
That was actually, so there was an owner that owned property. And he had, like, it was on acreage, and he had a shed. And I don't know how James found him, and he reached out and he's like, "Hey, we need this venue for like 2 days. Do you mind if we finish filming there?" And he's like, "Yeah, no worries." And it was this massive shed, and we literally got to do. He emptied out everything for us, and we could recreate the space however we wanted.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, cool. Oh, here we are. That's a national park somewhere.
That's in Campbelltown.
Oh wow, and he's got the green
Yeah.
mat out. I know where that is. That's in
Parramatta.
Parramatta.
Yeah.
That's across from the Royal.
That's right.
Yeah, I park there when we do the Western City Filmmakers Hangout.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's where I park to go to that event, which is coming up soon, kids. Check it out online. Maddie does a good job. Big shout out, Maddie. That was a clear little sneaky plug there. Yeah, was that the Georges River? That one there?
No, that was in Campbelltown National Park there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
You picked really good locations.
Yeah, but it just shows you, like, just in this little bit of footage here,
Yeah.
going from restaurants, going from, like, these underground pipes that look all, like, industrious and these exotic bush locations.
Yeah.
Majestic hotels.
Yeah.
You've done that all in Western Sydney.
Yeah, all in Western Sydney.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All done in Western Sydney.
I think it's just when I look at this, right, I just think what an amazing opportunity this region has to do these sort of things. Like,
Absolutely.
to shoot that in 16 days across
Yep.
that many locations. Like, I remember I was trying to count them while watching it. I'm like, so as they started happening, I'm like, wow, they've done like this location and this location and this location. It was just an onslaught of different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is. And all of this augmentation that he's doing, all of these, special effects that he does.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I can't get my head around it.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really passionate at what he does. And I think with James, because he's there from the beginning, so he's from the writing process and all the way through. So he'll write, he'll direct, he'll produce, he'll edit, he'll crop music, he'll find music. He's phenomenal at what he does. So I think with him, one of the reasons why this worked out really well and all his other work is he has such a clear vision of what he wants to see, and he can create that.
Yeah.
And he'll do whatever he can and however he has got to make that happen.
Well, just to go, let's dive deeper into AK.
Yep.
So, what was your role? What was your character in Atomic Kingdom?
So my character was Phoenix Flame. I would say it was more of like an ensemble, but I would probably say my character was one of the main ensemble characters.
Yeah, you were like through the whole thing. You're definitely a key main actor.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Phoenix Flame is I guess the best way to explain her is she's a boss bitch.
She was a bit of a boss bitch,
yeah. Which I think throughout the whole, even with series 1, she's always been that really strong type of character. And she's always about the work, get the job done, let's make our money, and let's continue. But the good thing about, I think, this season is that you actually start to see that shift in her. You start to see a softer side to her when she starts to connect with that spiritual element, and she starts to kind of go on a different journey as to what's actually happening to her. So it's good to kind of see that difference. I mean, even as me playing, like as an actor playing that role, it was nice to do something different and to kind of get a feel to like find that vulnerable place and connect that with myself and with her, because I'd been playing her for so many years. It was nice for that change.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That journey as an actor with the character for that duration.
Yeah.
The only thing I can sort of compare that to is being a musician, where you're tied to your music.
Yeah.
And these are stories that you always tell, and you repeatedly tell these stories. Even though when you're acting out, you're not doing the same scenes over and over again. You're going through a progression of it, but it's still a storytelling backdrop. Because I don't know, I've started getting into acting.
Oh, cool.
I never thought that I would like it.
I think you'd be really good at it.
I don't know if I'm good at it, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I definitely had fun doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always someone that's behind the camera.
Right. Yeah.
The only acting I've really done is voice acting, where I do characters for voiceovers.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I never thought, and I suppose like performing on stage, doing music.
Yeah.
But performing for camera.
Very different.
It's very different.
It's quite intimidating sometimes, isn't it?
It's extremely intimidating.
Yeah.
Because everyone's there watching you.
Yeah.
You got the lights on you.
Yep. You got to be on cue. You got to drop it. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to exit. Get into the character. Find your anchor point. Why is this character important?
Yep.
And what are they doing? Why is it that important right now?
Yeah.
Where is the context?
Yep.
And yeah, what I experienced out of it was I figured out that it's the easiest, hardest thing you'll ever do.
It is. Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
But it's really easy.
Yeah.
if you get through the hard bit,
Yeah.
it becomes easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't. It doesn't work the other way. It's not easy and then it becomes
No.
hard. It's like
Yeah.
it's really, really hard.
I find with like acting, like you've just got to do all the work leading up to it.
Mm.
Then when you're on camera, you just let it go, and then you just go with it.
Yeah, I think I found I was anxious before the
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
'Cause you read the lines.
Yeah.
You memorize the lines. You do the rehearsals. What I was doing had fight choreography.
Oh, cool.
Because then you got to remember
That's another element.
It's another element that you got to bring
Yeah.
into it. Which again, that was super fun doing fight scenes.
Yeah, it
It
is.
was super fun. Whether you're beating someone up or getting beat up, they're just as equally fun.
It's a good release.
Yeah, it is. You get hurt a little bit though.
Yeah, you do.
You do
You
actually get hurt.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Where do you get hurt when you were doing these fight scenes?
Well, I actually didn't get hurt doing these fight scenes. And we did have someone like choreograph the fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I'm short, my leg wasn't high enough to kick the other person in the head. So I actually had a stunt double do that kick.
Oh wow, you got to have a stunt double.
Yeah,
That is
because, like,
super cool.
My leg was too short and I couldn't get it to the other person's head.
Oh, that's awesome. You must be chuffed where you go, I've got a stunt double. You know,
Well, yeah, that was fun.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no, I'm too important. I may injure myself trying to overextend my leg here, and I can't. It's not that you can't reach; it's that I may hurt myself, so we need to get someone else
Good
to
do
do it.
stretches.
Yeah. But adding those elements together, I was so anxious before the shoot, and then things change on the shoot as
Yeah,
well. That's the other thing. I
definitely.
wasn't I anticipate that as a director. I go, righto, I'm not totally married to this. I know I need to achieve these points to get the narrative out and to get the story done.
Yeah.
I know I need to technically achieve it this way.
Yeah.
And through the storyline, I need to achieve it that way.
Yeah.
But as an actor, it's you're on the other side of the mirror.
Yeah, you are.
You really are on the other side of the mirror. There is a little bit of crossover where you can start helping a director going, well, I know this
Definitely.
character.
Yeah.
I've
definitely.
researched this person.
Yeah.
And because the director's looking at all people,
Yeah.
and you're just looking at this one person
Yeah.
and their relationships with other people.
Yeah.
I was so anxious, but on set though things will change. They go, I don't really like the accent you're doing. Can you change that up a little bit? And you're like, but I've been practicing this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't do that now.
Yeah.
So yeah, they totally changed the accent on me on the day.
Oh,
And I was
would
like,
have been. Yeah.
yeah, well, I had a really good one worked out. I had it all
Yeah.
worked out, and that's a major lesson I learned is that just because you think you got it worked out doesn't mean you got it
You
worked
gotta
out.
let it go.
You got to let it go.
Yeah.
You can't be
Yeah.
you can't be married to it.
Yeah.
You can't be tied to it.
No.
You can't be precious.
Just gotta be open
gotta
to
be-
everything and anything that happens. Yeah.
and that's what you said there though. That's the part that I really liked is that openness,
Yes.
that freedom.
You feel free. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
freedom that I experienced. It was more like when you got a crowd in front of you and you're singing at them or screaming at them. In my case,
Yeah.
that's exhilarating.
Yeah. That
but
would be.
but this is different. There was more texture to this.
Yeah.
It was more deep.
Yeah. There's a lot of layers.
There's a lot of layers.
Yeah.
It's a big old onion.
You're just constantly multitasking because you've got one person saying this, one person saying that. Stop for this, stop for makeup. There's a light there. Make sure you tilt your head that way, this way. At the same time, you've got to be really focused and really into the character.
Yeah, you got to brush all of that away.
Yeah.
Whilst interacting with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, there was definitely a moment where I walked into my dressing room, and my costume was hanging there with my name on it.
That's awesome.
That was an awesome
That's
feeling.
cool. That's an awesome feeling. Yeah.
That's a super awesome feeling.
Yeah.
Because you do your fit out and
Yeah.
you get everything done, and then you go and do the job, and there's part of it where you go, oh, God, I just got to get this done, and I don't want to stuff it up,
Yeah.
and then once it's done, you go, I've got to do this again.
Yeah.
It's a really
Yeah.
weird thing.
Yeah.
Like you go, oh, this is so stressful. I've got to get this done.
Yeah.
Ah, shit, it's over. All right, what are we doing? I've got to go and find another project.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
go find one.
Definitely.
Yeah. But you have been on other projects as well. You've
Yep.
got you were with someone else that I interviewed recently, Mark.
Yeah.
Mr. Mark Zimmerman.
Yeah. That's
Zimmerman.
Right. Yeah.
Have I got that right? It's
Think
another
so.
last name. I'm
think
terrible
so.
at last names.
So am I. I'm terrible with names.
But he did a film called The Wall.
Yes.
So what's The Wall all about?
So The Wall is a short film. I actually played a really, really minor role in that one, but doesn't matter. And The Wall is about a woman that I think guess you see her coping through the death of her child and the psychological aspect of what happens when she loses that child, and she feels like people are kind of after her, and she hasn't come to terms with the realization that her son has actually passed. I play the nurse in that. So, and I don't know if you know Olga. She was in the film as well too.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Atomic Kingdom. Yep.
Yeah, I met Olga,
She plays a psychologist in that.
Yeah, we're digitally friends now.
Digitally,
We're friends
That's
on
what
Facebook.
happens, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what happens at these things. Yeah,
Definitely.
totally.
But yeah, but that was good. That was a short film too. But I mean, the performance in that is fantastic as well.
Yeah. Well, do you know if Mark's released that
Yeah,
yet?
he has.
He
yeah,
has?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it on his YouTube channel?
Probably.
Let's
yeah,
pull it up.
definitely.
Let's
yeah,
pull it up.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey man, go into YouTube and type in Mark Zimmerman with a Z.
Zed.
Z. See, I've
I know
got.
it's a Zed.
I know it's a Z. I've
Yeah,
gotten this
I've
far,
seen this-
right?
Yeah, right. I think you'll get it.
Oh, you've gone Mars Zimmerman. You're so adorable, Wade. It is a small screen at his end, though. We've got the big screen. He's got the little tiny
Yeah.
laptop screen.
He's doing well. He's doing good.
Yeah, it's in a way smaller resolution, so it's not only a small screen, it's like really tiny on that screen as well. So, don't worry, bro. I'll be upgrading the edit suite soon. No, that's not him.
Maybe put Mark Atomic Kingdom, and then it'll come up that way, and then we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
look it up like that, or
Yeah, yeah.
IMDb, or
Atomic Kingdom. Yeah, we go by IMDb. That's the way to get in.
yeah, I think so.
There we go. IMDb. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we can go. Yeah, that second one. Was it that second one there?
Yeah.
That might do it. He was in the first season as well, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And we just go to the actors list there, man. We can find Mark. There he is.
There we
Click on
go.
that. Alex Cage. That's the one. Alex Cage. And is the wall there? It's not there. Ah. Gonna have to give him a
Yeah,
call.
it's down there.
Oh, it
It says
is.
short wall.
Oh yeah, there it is. Click on the wall, mate. See if we can get 3 down from Wonderland.
So he's working on Wonderland as well
that
too.
one there, yeah, that one there, yeah. Yeah, so
There we
see there should be a link in there somewhere. Do they link in IMDb?
I thought they did.
Yeah, yeah. Just go to YouTube and type in Mark Zimmerman and The Wall. That should get you there. All right. I'll change the subject until we get back to you. Yeah, so Kmart, right?
Yeah. Kmart.
Love shopping at
Good old Kmart.
Gotta go to Kmart. Yeah, no, so you were a nurse in The Wall.
Yep.
And what year was it? 2000?
I think it was 18.
2018?
I think. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, I think we're closer. Type YouTube. Oh, are we closer? Closer.
It could be
Go on to
'cause
YouTube,
I
bro.
think James
Go on
edited
to YouTube.
it. Yeah, there we go. It's the first one.
It's the first one.
The one up. That one there.
That one there, yeah. Go on to that one.
That's the
Let's have a
one.
look at this one. Oh, it's in Facebook. Is that the teaser there?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, there we
it,
go.
yeah.
Oh, finally, we got it. That's awesome. Thank you, Wade. He hates doing searches. I've seen this. This was an entry to Made in the West. I'm pretty
It
sure.
was. I'm pretty sure it was too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it entered. I don't know if they made it to the finals though. I can't remember. They may have made it to the
I
finals.
think. I don't know.
I don't know. I do remember this movie because she goes into the house and then all these walls just start appearing
Yeah.
and she can't get out of the house
Yeah.
and she rings the cops.
Yep.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, everyone. But yeah, go check out The Wall. It's not too bad. Yeah. Good on you, Mark. I totally forgot that Mark did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I've interviewed him and I should know this shit.
No, it's alright. It happens.
Oh look, I watch all of the content in Western Sydney, all of it.
Yeah.
Because we get for Made in the West we get 70 entries,
Wow.
and then I get all of everyone's promos for their web series and their films,
Right.
and then I go and research those as well. And yeah, I watch a lot of content. Yeah, it gets insane.
How do you find what do you pick? How do you pick them?
Oh well, I don't actually pick them. I curate them.
Okay.
So I put them into an order that's entertaining.
Right.
So what I do is I give them to 9 judges and they pick them.
Interesting.
So they all sort through them. I have different layers of judges, but then I have the final 9. So the final 9 will decide the winner of
Yep.
Made in the West, and then they will decide the best director, best actor,
That's awesome.
best actress, best sound design. We got a music video award this year.
Oh, cool.
So we're doing a
That's
music
nice.
video.
That's different.
We recently added music composition because we realised
Yeah.
we're cutting out a whole section of art of
Yeah.
of filmmakers, and they were people that were musicians
Yeah.
making music for film. And there's more of them out there than you think.
Yeah,
there's a lot of composers out there.
Yeah.
And
music is really what makes a film, don't you think?
it's the silent, it's the untold silent thing, right? It's a thankless part of it.
Yeah.
People don't talk about it unless you're in the industry. You don't talk about it. Because I find the real reason I think I like film and making it is because it's the intersection of all art.
Yeah, definitely.
It really is.
It all meets together.
It all comes together at that point. Performance, costuming, storyboards, makeup, directing, cinematography, lighting. It just the list goes on. Editing, and composition is one of those forgotten ones. Editing is one of those forgotten ones as well.
Definitely.
I ask people, name 5 directors, and they'll name 5 directors really easily, and then you go, right, name 5 editors. Like, Tarantino had his own editor for like 5 films. You're like, yeah, but what's their name?
It's so true. Yeah, that's true.
So editing is that silent thing. Like, but I think I can only name one composer. I only know one. Yeah, no, John Williams. John Williams is the only one I can remember.
You've got me.
Well, he did Star Wars. He did Back to the Future.
Okay,
he was massive. So we got stuck with it. Hold on, just use that one.
Okay.
Let it go.
Okay.
It's a casualty of war. It's over now. They are cool. Hey, folks, this is where the Kmart conversation started. I've got these little record coasters, and sometimes the beer sticks to it and it comes up with it. And I got them at Kmart at 2 in the morning. But again, though, so you're working with Mark again on Wonderland?
Yeah, so...
Is that his film as well?
So him and James are writing it, between the both of them. So you'll find a lot of the work that I do is usually with Mark and James. I feel like, well, it's probably just because we work well together, we feed well off each other. And I think between Mark and James, they're both writing this next short film. And we're going to see how it goes. And if we like it, then we might extend it into a feature. But we wanted to do something different. So comedies, this is actually going to be a comedy.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, the holy grail.
Yeah.
The holy grail of filmmaking.
Well, that's why we said we're going to start off with a short film and let's just see how it goes.
So ballsy.
Yeah, it is.
Comedies are ballsy.
I just think it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, but and terrifying as well.
Yeah.
Like I think that's good. To being terrified is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with a comedy, because it could either go really, really right
or really, really bad,
or really, really wrong. There's no rule in the middle with comedy.
Yeah,
it's either got to hit or it doesn't hit.
I agree.
I think a big shout out again to Matthew C. Vella. Watching his film "She's Not Your Type" at Made in the West. It was just an onslaught.
Was it?
Yeah. Before you finish laughing at the last gag, you're laughing at the next one. It's just an onslaught.
That's awesome.
It's sensory overload.
Yeah.
That film. So there's different ways you can go about it.
Yeah.
I think that's what really he's now into comedy. So he's doing stand-up comedy.
Oh, cool.
Which is even more ballsier.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely be.
Yeah, I think out of performance, like, getting up on stage and singing in front of people, take some balls.
Yeah.
Getting up and playing guitar or piano in front of people, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Standing on a set and acting in front of an entire crew and potentially being in front of thousands to millions of people.
Yep.
That's pretty ballsy as well. Yeah. But I think
comedy, definitely.
Stand-up comedy. Yeah. I think that's real sharp end of the stick sort of stuff when you come into a performance.
And you're on your own. There's no music. There's nothing. You're just standing there and you're just delivering.
There's nowhere to hide.
No.
Yeah. Guitarist, you can hide behind the guitar. A vocalist, you could hide amongst the music.
Yeah, right.
There's you could run off stage as a vocalist and the band will continue playing.
True.
I've
actually never thought of it like that. Yeah,
there's a way out.
Yeah.
There's an escape pod.
True.
You can get out of it. And
That's
people
true.
go, oh, he's just being edgy. No, I'm going out the back and I'm crying. It's gotten to me too much. No, I think stand-up comedy. Yeah, that's really ballsy. Yeah. I've thought about it. Like, I'll make people laugh, but I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could write comedy. I'm a sci-fi gangster film writer. Like, I write dark things. Yeah. Not funny things. I say funny things, but not in a stand-up comedy context, I don't think.
I guess you'll never know.
Unless you do it.
I think you should definitely give it a go. You never know.
I was thinking about giving it a go because I think Blacktown does an open mic night.
Oh, do they?
They do like a 3-minute.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You either get up there, make people laugh, or you eat shit. And I'm terrified of eating shit, but I don't care. I like to do things that scare me. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I like to I test
I
myself.
mean, think of it. What's really the worst that can happen?
Oh, you get booed off stage,
That's
but
it.
you know.
That's it. Then it's over.
Well, we have this funny saying in our band, the band that was on before us, that, when we came on, they were still booing them,
That's good.
That's pretty good,
That's
yeah.
good, yeah.
It makes you feel better about yourself. No, that last band was so shit, they were still booing them when we were on stage. Yeah, and speaking of which, I'm going to do my own little plug. I've just signed for another show. So I'm doing a show at the Factory Theatre on the 6th of November at the Factory Theatre. So
Awesome.
come check it out if you like heavy metal, now that we're talking about heavy metal. Here I am talking to an actor, and I've managed to still plug the band.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's actually a really nice theatre too. So
Yeah.
good space.
Yeah, I don't get the top floor. I'm on the bottom floor.
Doesn't matter.
It's called the floor. It's still a good space though.
Yeah, it is.
It is really good space. I've actually seen some pretty good acts there.
Yeah.
Actually saw a really good comedian there. Actually,
A lot of comedians actually go there.
yeah, they do the floor because it's a good sized venue.
Right.
It's easy to fill, but it's not too small.
Right.
But yeah, I reckon my favorite. Oh, it's hard to say a favorite venue for music and that sort of thing for me. I'd say Frankie's. Frankie's is pretty good. It's very intimate. The way they do it, because they like draw the curtains on you and then
That's cool.
then they pull the
Yeah.
curtains. So when your act's over, they draw the curtains.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like when you do metal shows, right? You usually have what you call a backline,
Right.
because there's not enough time to change out all of the instruments. So you have a backline. So you have the things that don't change,
Right.
and that's usually the drum rack. So or the toms, the bass, they won't take that off stage. That will just remain the entire show. And usually the headlining act will be the backline. So a lot of bands will have their band symbol on the front of their drum kit.
Yep.
And when you go to gigs, you'll see that. You go, oh, that band's not playing. How come they're using their drum kit? It's called. If you ever see that, you go, oh, that's the back line. Because
Right.
it's not. It takes too long to change out. Because you leave
Which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you leave the audience standing there too long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you try to do a 15-minute change out.
How many bands perform?
I normally do 4 to 5.
Cool.
So 4 to 5 bands I put on. So I've got to promote that, negotiate with the venue, and
Yep.
then seek the talent and convince
That's
people to
awesome.
play. I've currently signed on 2 bands for this gig.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, Reva, you guys rock. Love you guys. They're like an 80s sort of style rock
Cool.
band, 80s, 90s rock band. All original music.
Nice.
But they are your quintessential metal band. I love those guys. You always know you're going to be at a party when you go and do a gig with those guys.
That's cool.
I've watched them rock up to a gig and roll out of a taxi. It's
Really?
like, I don't mean just roll. I don't mean that metaphorically.
Yeah,
I mean they rolled out of the taxi in the main street. Like, oh man, Reva's here. Awesome.
That's cool.
Big shout out to Phil. And Zach as well. They just had a massive changeover in their setup actually. So they lost their guitarist because bands part,
Right. Yeah, of course.
but some part on bad pretenses. But this band, they just no, it wasn't like that. They just go, oh man, I've had enough, and
Yeah,
this guy
fair
wants to
enough.
play. So now they've replaced their players.
Cool.
I've been through that change out myself. It wasn't that pleasant,
No.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
The average life of a band's like 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, it only lasts 3 years. It's always a girl that breaks it up, in my experience.
Well,
It's always a
yeah,
girl.
It's always a relationship.
It's always a relationship that breaks it up. It's always a wife or a girlfriend.
You can't beat pillow talk.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is, a band is another girlfriend.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
It's a distraction away from your relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like a partner because you've got people's emotions involved. You're trying to
True.
create
That's
something.
true.
You've
Yeah.
got money invested in it.
Yeah.
There's multiple relationships.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's to do with passion as well.
Yeah.
Like music is passion.
Definitely. Yeah.
So there is definitely that's why they talk about it that way. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right?
Yeah.
So it is a partner.
Yeah.
You are in bed with those people.
Yeah.
Figuratively, although Rob, you are sexy. But like, just speaking of that, do you have those sort of same problems as an actor? Like, does acting take away from your personal life, your professional life?
Definitely. It did for like many years. Like, so I've only come back into acting, in the last 2 years, 2.5 years. I actually had a big break from acting for like 4 years.
Oh wow.
Basically because since the age of 14, I had always been acting. Since high school, I started off in theatre and then from theatre. But I was like, I think as an actor, I guess some actors might understand it, you become really obsessed with it. Like you said, it's a relationship. It's everything you do. It's everything you breathe. That's just all you want to focus on. And then I got to around like 23. I went to the States, did the whole thing, you know.
Oh, wow.
Studied there, met people, worked on little short films. And then I got back and then I was just like, I was so like pulled back. Like, what do I do now? And then I just realized, like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know, like, I would go out social events and I was like, okay, what character am I going to be today? Like, I didn't even, like, I forgot, like, I didn't even know who I was.
Yeah.
So I just got to a certain point where I just had to step back and just be like, for me, I just think I got to a point where I couldn't handle it as much. And same thing with relationships. I'd have relationships, but acting came first.
Yeah.
So then, you know, then they would want me to do this and I was like, no, acting's first. Acting's first.
When
My family, everything, acting's first.
When I met my
acting's first.
wife, I said to her, I'm in a band. Don't ever get between me and the band.
I was the same.
You won't win.
You won't win. I was exactly the same.
And she's like, well,
Even
that's
when
nice.
I met my husband too. Yeah.
Don't get between it.
Yeah.
Don't get between me and
This
my
is what
art.
I do, and this
You
is the
have
way
to
it is.
accept it.
Yeah.
It is not negotiable.
Yeah.
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 Wow. So it is. Yeah. Because I see other similarities in
Yeah.
in the film world. Like directors are like lead singers.
Yeah.
Cinematographers are like guitarists.
Yeah.
Like when you look at their because I've been in both worlds. So you look
Yeah.
at their personalities. I'm like,
Yeah.
a DOP is definitely like a guitarist.
Yeah.
Because they've got an instrument that they're
Yeah.
like using,
Yeah.
and the director has no instrument.
Yeah.
It's just
going.
their mind and their words.
Yeah. And their vision.
And their vision. All right. And when you're a vocalist in a band, you're a storyteller.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what a director is.
Yeah.
They're
Definitely.
a storyteller.
Definitely.
And the drummer, they're usually like your grip. They're like your audio recorder.
Cool.
They're the people that are never happy on set, essentially. Anyone that you see on set's not happy, drummer.
So that's usually the first AD.
Yeah. That's the
They're
first
never-
AD
yeah.
as well. Sound recorders, first
Yeah.
AD, these kind of
Yeah.
people, right? But yeah, I was just so consumed by my art that
Yeah.
it's not negotiable with anyone.
Yeah.
It comes first.
Yeah. Definitely.
So going to the States, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So you got on a plane, went to the States. What was that like?
So I did my full-time work with TAFTA, and then they had brought out this program to go to the States for 3 months. And so they would we went there for 3 months. You'd pay for obviously accommodation, and then you'd just study with like a whole different like variety of schools. I actually did a little bit of comedy, quite a bit of comedy. Majority of the time there was all about comedy. So they perfect comedy. Like it's hard, but God, they're good. Like the techniques and things that they would show us.
Wow.
Fantastic. Hard to master, but very effective.
It's the holy grail.
Very effective.
It really is.
Really is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was there for 3 months, and then I worked on a short film when I was there. It was called The Owl in the Escol Park, but I think it's changed now.
Change the name?
I think they've changed the name because I think they've extended to it. Same thing. He was starting off as a short film, and then he liked where it was going.
One
and then he
into a
extended
feature?
it. Yeah, I
Or
think so.
or did extended scenes?
Well, I think he extended scenes, and then he kind of made it a completely different story.
Okay.
But that was an experience in itself.
Director's
It was like, we're going to
man.
be in this location so quickly. Be here. You got to be here at 2:00 in the morning. We're like, what? I've got college. I've got to go to my I've got to do perform a monologue the next day at 7:00. And you want me to be there at 2:00? They're like, yep. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, wow.
You know, you just do things like that.
Yeah, it's amazing though. Just to get back though, so you were talking about identity, about
Yeah.
how
Yep.
being an actor is your identity, and then when you are changing your identity
Yep.
as an actor, you
Yep.
start to lose your
You
identity.
do, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I heard it once. I can't remember who I heard it from, and they said, to be a really good and effective actor, you really need to know who you are, because you're bringing on a whole lot of other different personalities. You're touching other parts of, like, getting in tune with yourself with other parts that you didn't really know existed, depending on the character. So somewhere along the lines there, you lose yourself. And I think because I started so young, I didn't even know who I was to begin with. And then I got to a certain point where I was just kind of like a big mess. I was a massive mess. So I just thought, you know what, I need to explore other things. And that's when I guess I got into spirituality and stuff like that. And that kind of really helped me understand who I was on a different level.
What you mean, like sort of meditation and sort of
yeah,
looking
so
at the
I
world
got into, like-
through a holistic sort of way?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like got into like angels, kinesiology. I don't know if you've ever heard about
What's
that.
kinesiology?
Kinesiology is freaking amazing. So it's like,
It's okay, you can swear. We're on the page of train, mate. We're drinking beer and we're fucking swearing.
oh, good. It's amazing. So it's like your brain, like imagine a car engine. Your brain's the car engine. When you study kinesiology, or when you do kinesiology, they can rewire your brains like a mechanic, like put different things, delete things, images that you see, and recreate images. So a whole lot of things that maybe you've held on to in the past, you can actually. So you do it through muscle testing, which is a response that comes from your subconscious part of your brain.
Yes.
Or whatever problem that you're associating with, and then you can actually delete it. You can change it. It's like a program, like a computer. You can change it. You can delete it. You can delete memories or recreate memories on top of that one. So if it was a bad memory, you can change the color, change the picture, change the sound, and make it a better one. You can delete. It's
I think I've done this in a sort of indirect way. Like for instance, like because when you're trying to do anything really, art specifically, there's a little voice that pops up in your head and goes, "You're not good enough.
Yeah.
You suck at this. Why are you bothering? You're overweight. You're not pretty enough. And you're not smart enough. So why are you even bothering trying this, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got to try and grab that voice by the throat and
pay attention to that. Yeah.
and get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
So a method I'd do to get rid of that voice is that I'd put that voice on a television.
Oh yeah.
And put it in the ocean.
Cool. Yeah.
Let it float in the ocean, and then start to turn the volume down.
Perfect. That's
and let it sink into the ocean, and then let it go into an abyss in the deep, deep ocean.
Yep.
That way I can silence that voice.
Yeah.
And I looked at it as a way of editing my brain, as in
exactly.
I look at it as shutting down that voice so other voices can rise.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause you're positive.
It's so true. It's like NLP. That's exactly what you described.
Because I'm a big believer in your brain is like a computer.
It is. Definitely.
And in fact, computers are modelled off our way that our brains work.
Are they? There you go.
Well, you think about it.
It is. Yeah.
It is, because you use a mouse or you use a tablet, and it's designed in a way that your brain will work with it. It is. That's what you call interfacing.
Yeah.
Like you will interface with that. Yeah. So when you look at the interface with you and your brain, I go, well, it's a computer. It's only going to do what you put into it.
Yeah.
Any commands that you put into it is going to result in a physical repercussion of some kind.
Yeah.
And if you tell yourself that you're worthless, you're going to be worthless.
That's exactly right. Yep.
So I used to work on ways and take advice from people as well.
Yeah.
Not take all advice.
No. Whatever kind of sits well, like you think about it. Does that resonate with me? Is that something I want to believe in? Or, Yeah,
if it's something that I was attuned to and resonated with, exactly, and then I'll do it. I think sometimes when I go into the woo side of things, especially when we talk about angels and this sort of thing, like, I'm an agnostic. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I'm a don't know person. Yeah. I'm an empirical data person. I'm a scientific thinker.
Okay. Yeah.
But at the same time, I've had experiences in my life that cannot be explained scientifically.
Yep.
They just can't be.
Yep. Yeah.
They are insane. The things that I've experienced in different countries at different points of history.
Yeah. Yeah.
I certainly have a Forrest Gump complex. Like in Forrest Gump, he goes through all these points in history. Like I feel like that.
Yeah.
I've met the Prime Minister 4 times. Different Prime Ministers through time, doing different jobs. So I have a Forrest Gump complex. Yeah. And I like to run, so it's it's all really bad. Yeah. But I think identity. I've really worked with that a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you look at PTSD.
Yeah.
I really identify with the parts that are identity.
Yeah.
Because that's usually an identity crisis. If you don't know who you are, it's a crisis.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've had that as a musician as well, where you're just singing so many shows.
You feel it too. Yeah.
You just because you go to this dark place all the time.
Yeah, you do. It's another persona. It's another character that you are there. Then you're off
as
stage.
A dark person.
Yeah.
Like the guy that sings on stage is singing about some really dark, hard-hitting stuff.
Yeah.
It's political in nature. It's it's Halloween. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It is play. Yeah. It is play, but you're taking your brain to that place.
Yeah. Definitely.
So coming back from the States, what was it called again? You called it not the study of editing.
Kinesiology?
How do you say it?
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology.
So
as in kinetic. So that means physical.
It is physical. Yeah, it is physical because kinesiologists mainly use their arm, like an arm, to get a response from your subconscious part of your brain. And then it's like usually a lock is a no, an unlock is a yes. But it depends on the kinesiologist what way they want to go. But it's also like it's mixed with NLP. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
No.
What's his name? See, I'm bad with names too.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names.
I can see him. He's on the tip of my tongue.
We can look it up. Type in kinesiology.
Oh no, put in NLP and he'll come straight away.
NLP.
His name. He's
Type in
known
NLP.
around the world. He's based on this work. He's You'll know who he is today. How can I not remember his name?
And so this always happens. It
It
happens to
happens
me all the
to
time.
all the time.
Like, but there's other information that I have in my head that I can just recall like that. You know.
Yeah, me too.
You know, like episodes of Seinfeld. Like, why do I need that?
Yeah, I know. Or visuals. I'm really good with visuals, but names.
Yeah. Oh, there's a test you can do as well about visuals. Like, picture an orange star or a red star.
Okay.
And do you actually see a red star?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, some people you ask, they'll see a very grey, dim star.
Really?
Yeah. When I picture a grey, someone asked me to picture a red star. I pictured a sun with, you know, magnetic
Really?
bands around it. That's
wow.
I go visual.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like I go hyper visual, and that's what I realised about myself. When I talk to other people, they go, "Well, I see a star that's red," but I go, "Well, no, I see a
More layers. Yeah.
I see a star,
Yeah.
an actual star with, you know, magnetic bands going around
cool.
it that's got
Yeah.
solar flares pouring off it."
That's cool.
That's the way I see the world.
Yeah.
And I just assume everyone looked at the world that way.
Yeah.
And then it turns out I'm deep. I'm a deep
Yeah.
thinker, and it's like not everyone's a deep thinker. And it's cumbersome being a deep thinker because
Yeah.
you get bogged down in it, right?
You do. Yeah. You got to know, I think.
Have we got it yet, Mr. Wade?
What was it?
What was it called again?
So type in NLP.
NLP. See what we
It's
get.
going to be such a, yeah.
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Or,
and-
yeah.
Founder of NLP? Is that what we're looking for?
No, Tony Roberts, that's his
Tony Roberts.
name. Tony Roberts.
Let's pull up Tony.
So
Pull up Tony Roberts,
he
mate.
bases his work on not NLP. Well, actually, yeah, NLP. It's kind of a mixture of everything.
Mm. Tony Roberts? NLP? No, just get rid of NLP to go Tony Roberts.
Tony Robbins is massive. He's
Is it
great.
Robbins? Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins. Yeah,
Yeah, Tony Robbins. There we go. The secrets
Tony
that you couldn't.
He's phenomenal. He's been doing this for years and years.
Oh,
And
I
years
know
and
that
years.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's really
like,
good.
He's like a motivational speaker.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But he uses like a lot of things like that to like when people come to his seminars to like delete things and change things for them so they can like kind of get rid of their blocks to get to where they want to get to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot like what's that other one I've heard of? Landmark.
Oh yeah.
Where
yeah.
where it's more of verbal
Yeah.
confessions. I
Yeah.
guess they do. I've always been terrified of that. Like I don't want to make people cry.
No,
You know.
This was different. This was done like in a private college one-on-one. I just kind of needed that healing, and that's the thing that just happened for me. And it was in line with me, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to try it.
And you
It
found
was
center
the
out of
best
that. It
thing.
gave you
Yeah.
a
Completely
sense of
changed
identity
me as a
and.
person, changed me as an artist, just changed my perspective on life.
And how old were you when you did that? Like
I was 21.
21.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was kind of like in a really dark place, 21. That was when I came back from the States, and it was just, it's a very hard thing to explain. I was just very dark. Everything was
Oh no, I
dark.
know what you mean.
I just couldn't cope with the world. I couldn't, it was just, yeah.
Well,
it was just
way,
like, I don't know. It was a yucky feeling.
a way I describe, because I think I know what you're talking about. A way I describe it is, it's difficult to see the beauty in things.
Yeah.
Things don't seem beautiful.
No.
Like you don't like. It's not.
No
maybe
purpose.
there's no purpose, no meaning.
purpose. Yeah.
Things are grey.
Yeah.
You don't
Very
see.
grey.
You don't see the
Yep.
red star
No,
or the
not
orange
at
star.
all.
You don't see
Yeah.
it. You see grey.
Yeah.
That's the way I sort of anchor and describe those emotions, because I totally get what you're talking about. I've felt
Yeah.
like that before.
Yeah.
When I've returned from overseas, in particular, I felt that way.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a delay. It was a long fuse. Actually, it was
really?
a long fuse. Like because when you're a bloke and you're like 25, apparently like you're 10 foot tall and you're bulletproof and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you don't cry in movies, man. You know,
Yeah.
you're tough, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be tough.
Yeah.
So there's a heavier element of denialism
Yeah.
in there. But I think it's good. Like I think the first step with those sort of things is to go, well, I don't know who I am and I want to find out,
Yeah. Exactly.
because that means now you are intrigued.
Yeah.
And being
Absolutely.
intrigued, it allows you to see beauty again.
Absolutely. And that's why I felt like at that time I really just needed to step away from acting because I was quite anxious about it. And I'm quite a perfectionist too. Like when I get into something, I'm completely into that
Obsessive.
project. Obsessive.
Yeah,
To the point where that's the only thing that really matters. So I just, it was the hardest thing I did at that stage, but it was kind of the best thing that I did too. Now, being 30, looking back, I can go, I'm glad I did that. And I'm still experimenting, you know, still doing different things, trying new different things. And I guess my philosophy out of that is just do what you love all the time. If you're not happy doing something, just get out.
I think that's the best
can.
advice. That is
Yeah.
the best advice. Do what you love all the time.
Yeah.
I had a few experiences in my life because people go like, you do the festival, you do the band,
Yeah.
you do, you're a Foley artist, you're a voiceover artist, you work full time. Like, you run a studio. Where does it end, Ross? Where does it end?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I forgot the festival. I run a festival.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People go, how do you do that? I go, because you've got to do what you love all the time.
time. Yeah, that's right.
And people go, well, there's not enough time. I go, there's plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
There's plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
There's heaps of it.
Yeah.
I've got time to. After all of that, still got
do.
time to spare.
Yeah.
And that's where I get my downtime. Where I watch,
Yeah.
watch a bit of Netflix.
Yep. Definitely.
Chill out with my woman.
Yeah,
Like
that's right.
I hang out with my best friend. You share time with people.
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes as an actor or as an artist, I should say, you get disconnected.
You do.
You go through stages where you forget why you're an artist.
Yeah. And it's like it becomes work and not a passion anymore. It's not like what you love anymore. It just becomes work. And that's where I was going to. And I was like, oh, I don't want that. Like, I want to have that feeling, that rush of that I always have, that work, and then be in front of the camera, be on the stage and, love what I'm doing, invest, connect with the other person. And it stopped being all that. It was more, okay, I've got an audition. I've got to get this audition. I've got to get here on time. I've got to nail this. I've got to. And I was just like, it's not what I love anymore for that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. I definitely do. And it comes down to context and texture.
Yeah.
What's the texture of that? How do you feel? Is it rough? Is it smooth?
Yeah.
And if it's not smooth, then you're
Yeah.
not having a good time.
No.
It's a rough time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've definitely been there. But I think self-discovery is definitely the key to that.
It is definitely. Like now coming back, I'm just like, oh, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I think because I've had more of that life experience now, it's like I can bring more and differently, but I can also balance it now too. Like I know how to switch off. Where before I didn't really know how to like kind of switch off.
Yeah. It's still a challenge though, switching off, I find.
I've been practicing quite a while now.
Yeah. Especially when you're on a roll though. When I'm on a roll,
yeah.
you don't want to jump out of your roll because you're like,
No.
oh, I've got the
Yeah.
momentum. I've got the momentum. But it's like 4 a.m. You've got to go to work in 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and then you go, well, I may as well work all the way. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden I haven't slept for 48 hours and
Yeah.
now I'm
See, I
driving.
can't do
You're
that.
like, shit,
no,
man.
I can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I even wrote a movie about it called Pushing the Envelope,
Cool.
I always push the envelope.
Yeah.
Some people, they would discuss this in a way of burning the candle at both ends. What I do is I take that candle and I throw it in a fire and I binge watch it.
Yeah. That's cool.
But it's interesting though. We do these things to discuss identity,
Yeah.
and in the process of discussing identity and context, you lose yourself.
You do.
But you can't go on that journey without losing yourself.
Yeah.
So it's this weird paradox.
Yeah. And
It's
then
a
it's
very weird
like-
paradox.
Every time, like something with identity, it's you always be discovering something that you didn't know. So it's like you'll never fully know you. You'll know the core of you, but then you'll kind of always start finding all these other parts about you. And you're like, oh, I didn't know I can do that. Didn't know that about me. Or,
Yeah, 40's crazy. Like, because
Is
you
it?
just talked about being 30, right?
Yep.
And because I remember what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Like, I remember that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
and
normal?
That's
Okay,
totally
good,
normal,
great.
yeah.
Okay.
And you have another one when you're about 39, 40.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, you have this, if you were talking about it in Highlander terms, you have a quickening.
A quickening.
Yeah, you become reinvigorated.
That's cool. I like that.
You do, especially upon reflection. If you're a reflective person,
I am.
and because there's some advice I give to people when they're being like narky and they're like barking at people. Like, man, you got to
Yeah.
reflect a little bit because you're
Yeah.
affecting people around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you reflected a little bit,
Yep.
you'd be able to see how you're acting.
Yeah. That's true.
Because when I'm acting like an arsehole, you know it. You're like, oh man, I was acting like an arsehole back there. I've got to go say sorry to those people. I was
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
line.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you have to pull yourself up. You
Yeah.
know. And I'm aware of those contexts of myself, and people know that, and they forgive you for it if you're
Yeah.
open and honest about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Because none of us are perfect.
No.
We're all kooky and crazy.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's just the ones that admit it and the ones that don't.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
definitely. So, have you got any projects that are coming up on the horizon other than Wonderland?
Not really. No. The only thing like I had discussed with like James is I definitely want to give directing a go.
This is what I'm kind of like poking at here. I'm like, I'm sensing a director here.
I definitely would love to. And he's like, you can direct me. I was like, I'd love to direct you. But in saying that, I'd want to find the right thing. I'd love to write, but I just don't feel like I have a lot of ideas. But as a writer, you've got to have this commitment, like just this writing and this amount of like time where you can just dwell into. I don't have that patience.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really
a slow
feel like I
burn.
have- yeah.
It's a real slow burn.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I've got some advice to become a writer to make
Yeah.
it easier. There's different techniques that you can do.
Right.
It's like, think of it as a gym. Writing's a
Yeah.
gym. There's not just you and a blinking cursor.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
Yeah.
You need to have
Definitely
you need to have a regime. You need
Yeah.
a plan. You need a routine.
research. Yeah.
You need research.
Yeah.
But when you get finger to key or pen to paper, whatever metaphor you want to describe
Yep.
writing, what I do is when I'm writing a short film,
Yeah.
is I do the structure first. I get a whole bunch of palm cards,
Oh yeah.
and then I write the plot points.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Because the two main things you need in a story is a formidable obstacle and a intent.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be a plot.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of the film?
Yeah.
What's the context?
Yeah.
The subtext will show up later, and usually
Yeah.
good films have an excellent subtext.
Yeah,
Like, what does that
definitely.
film
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
And everyone has a different opinion on it, right? You go to people, what's Fight Club mean to you? And
Yeah.
people, they'll give you, like, I remember.
It's true. I love
It's
Fight
a
Club.
yeah, but it's a deep film.
Yeah, it is.
It has so many
You have
meanings.
to watch it again.
It's a
Yeah,
comment on comment on capitalism.
Yeah.
It's not just about a journey of a man with
Yeah.
schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It's a comment on capitalism.
Yeah.
And that's the subtext. But the context
Yeah.
is this man that's battling with himself,
Yeah.
and the objective is to become sane.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to figure out and identify those obstacles. Like, for instance, my really good go-to is Road Trip. You know, the film Road Trip.
Yeah.
All right. So the intent is you need to get across the United States. They have no money.
Yeah.
And the obstacle is they need to stop that videotape getting to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right. That's if
Yeah.
you have if you have those
That's
two
true.
things,
Yeah.
you can hang all these anecdotes on
Yeah.
that wire between those two towers.
Yeah.
So write down your intent and obstacles. The hardest part.
Cool.
It's the
Yeah, I can
hardest
imagine.
part of writing.
Well, I've always gotten to, like, I found I love the characters. So I love always creating the characters first. Then I'm like, okay, well, where's this story going to go? And then I start and I've got the ending, but it's like, I don't have the middle.
Yeah. See, that's
know?
interesting. Like when
Yeah.
I write, I don't have the ending. I've got everything
Oh,
else.
really?
Yeah, the ending is the last thing to show up.
It always changes
Totally
depending on
changes.
where I'm going.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how I just work with my structure. I like characters. I like to know where the start kind of is and the ending, and then the middle, I don't know.
Yeah, and I've always learned, don't come up with an ending to a film.
Yeah.
Let that happen when you get there, when you get to
Yeah.
the writing of that. Because you take that intent obstacle, stick it up on the wall, you got your character
Yeah,
names.
I like that. I'm going to try that.
And then write scenes. You go, okay, so they're at a diner. No words, no dialogue.
yeah.
I've got Kate and John. They're at
Yeah.
a diner.
Yeah.
I've got Bruce and Tommy, and they're in an alleyway.
Yeah.
And then stick that on a wall as a big pyramid.
Yeah.
And then once you've got your pyramid complete, from start to end, and your intent, obstacle, and plot points and character
That's
names,
cool. I like that.
start then make them talk. You go, okay,
Yeah.
scene one, cafe, righto. Kate and what was the other name that I used? Wasn't Bruce or something like that?
Yeah.
Whatever the characters' names are, you just start
Yeah.
making them talk.
Yeah.
And all of a
Ooh, I
sudden,
like that.
and as an actor, then you bring
Yeah.
in how you know to anchor people, because actors have asked me the most interesting questions when I'm on
Yeah.
set. They go, what's this person doing?
Yeah.
Because the worst thing you can say as a director is, can you do that again with more feeling? Like, that's the worst thing you can
Yeah.
say to an actor.
Yeah.
Just do that again, but with more feeling.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that is not a direction at all.
No.
It's nowhere
But
near a
you'll
direction.
actually be surprised. A lot of directors too. Like, I remember once I was on.
Bring
set,
the
like,
intensity.
Can you do that? But with that, but like that, but more that. And I was like, yeah, I actually think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I've decoded that, and what I found out of that is that you need this, and what about that?
That. Yeah.
And I can
so
add.
I'll just do that.
I'll do that instead, but that coincides with your that.
Yeah.
But it's more of my this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, cool. Let's go.
Great direction.
Yeah.
But I understand that as a director, you get flustered
Yeah, of course.
because everyone's watching you and you're the boss.
And there's so many things happening.
So many things happening. You got a technical arm. You've got a creative, not a creative arm, but a performance arm.
Yeah.
You've got an accounting arm, and you've got to make
Yeah.
sure that you stay on budget.
Yeah.
You got and the time is ticking. The sun
Yeah.
is setting. You've
Yeah.
got to get it done.
You got to get it done. Yeah.
So yeah, you can come up with stupid shit when you're a director. I've done plenty of that, but I guess good actors ask you good questions.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They do. They go, all right. So, what was this person's childhood like?
Yeah.
They'll ask you questions like that, and you go,
Yeah.
well, yeah, they had a rough upbringing, wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah.
You know, because then all of a sudden now you got the picture.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what you got to give an actor. You got to give him the
Absolutely.
picture.
Yeah, the background story.
Give him
you
the
know?
give him the picture.
Yeah.
Give him the picture. Then they've got the 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Right. That's all you got to do. And I find that's the thing about directing. I get a buzz out of.
Yeah.
That's when I because being a director, you've got to get the best out of people.
Yeah.
You've got to get the best out of the technical team, get the
Yeah.
best out of the actors,
Yeah.
get the best out of the money that you've got down on this set, right?
Yeah.
Love doing it. It's addictive. It's
Yeah,
very
It
addictive.
is, yeah.
So I totally recommend it for you.
Yeah.
If you like acting, you'll fucking love directing, mate.
Yeah, I know. I definitely want to do it. I said to James, that's my next thing, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, you should do it.
You totally should do it.
Yeah.
You totally should. And another way I'd try, would be happy to further the persuasion is you've worked with how many directors?
Worked with a few. Wouldn't say heaps, but I've worked with a few.
But
Yeah.
more than a
Different.
handful, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So you would have seen a whole host of different directing styles.
definitely.
So you already
Definitely,
have
yeah,
an
definitely.
education in how to direct.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
just haven't unlocked it yet.
Yeah.
As soon as you sit in the chair, as soon as you start calling, and market.
Yeah.
Once you start doing that,
Yeah.
you'll then be just like an actor.
Yeah.
You'll be pulling on those memories
Yeah.
to figure out how to do this, but make it
It's exciting.
yours.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very that's
very exciting.
but that's what I found with acting. It's a very simple
Yeah.
process. It's just on the other side of the mirror.
Yeah,
You're on and that's what the art I find is in filmmaking. It's a
Yeah.
mirror.
yeah,
One's looking in, and the other one's looking out.
yeah,
And acting is in the mirror.
yeah,
And the rest of us are outside the mirror because we can see
true.
the details of the room. But
Yeah.
the mirror can only just see that one frame. That's how.
true.
Well, I told you I look at the world in a really strange way.
Yeah,
I see
no,
a
I like
star.
that.
I see a star. I don't see a little star. I
star.
see like a sun.
Yeah.
Planets orbiting it, comet going by. But that's the thing. That's how you do directing, man. I love directing. That's how you do
Yeah.
it. You paint them a picture.
Yeah.
Give them one image, and they've got 1,000 words. Give them 5 images. They've got 5,000 words.
Yeah,
Right?
Yep.
That's the buzz. If you can communicate, you can do it. But I'm excited to be an actor because then I can go out and see. Oh shit, we're an hour already, bro. This is flying by.
yeah.
Oh shit, I lost my point now. I've lost where I was going. Look, I think it's a good thing to see other directors. Like I'm
Yeah.
at a disadvantage. That's why I'm excited about being an actor. Is
Yeah.
because I can see other directors.
You know what I find really interesting on that topic? Sorry, I know we're probably going to wrap up. You said all directors are
No, we got
different,
time. We got time.
But I definitely think, like, I kind of really enjoy working with all those directors because their energy changes the film completely and your performance. It's like, for example, in LA, they're so like, come on, let's go. Don't breathe, quickly. You're just going to do it. You're going to make it happen. And, you got this intense scene. You just got to perform on the spot. They're like, didn't like that. Let's move locations. Do it again, but do it like this. Okay, cool. No
Yeah.
worries. And then you got James. He's such a nurturer. He will just like look at the character and he'll be like, he'll know exactly what that character needs to pull out that other kind of angle. And and then you got theatre that's completely different.
Yeah, theatre's a different kettle of fish.
But it's such a rush as well too.
Yeah, that would be terrifying as well as an actor because there's no second take.
No,
It's
but it's
it.
so much
That's it.
fun
Yeah.
because you got to improvise a lot sometimes, or the other actor might forget where they are, and they're just like, the table. You're like, oh yeah, then the table, and then they pick up.
Happens in music more than you think.
Does it?
Oh yeah,
Really?
totally. In music, if someone drops a guitar riff and they're like, oh, he changed over a beat early there, and then the drummer knows, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna headbang for a little bit, all right, and then
Really?
all right,
That's
and we're back.
cool. Oh, that's cool.
That happens all the time.
Oh.
A good band will never let anyone know that happened.
Yeah.
Like they won't know. They'll just think,
awesome. No, I-
they extended that solo. I loved how they did that. I'm like,
That's
yeah, no,
cool.
we
Yeah.
fucked up. We fucked it up. We just improvised.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So that happens. Yeah, that's just the nature of live performance. Yeah, totally. But yeah, get into directing. You get into directing. I'll get into acting.
Done.
And,
That's a deal.
And
Yeah.
let's try and make Western Sydney a better place.
Let's do that.
That's what I'm up to.
Definitely.
That's what we're up to.
Yeah. Definitely.
But look, who can? Do you have your IMDb out there?
Yep, I do.
So where can we find your IMDb?
Just on Google, Jessica Rapi. It'll all come up.
Yeah.
Yep. Just on there.
Yeah, and check out all of Jess's films. And hey, if you've got a job for an actor, got one right here.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go and check out her work. And of course, Atomic Kingdom. They can just
Yep.
type Atomic Kingdom season 2.
Yep.
And they'll find it.
Yep.
I imagine.
Yep. Atomic Kingdom season 2.
Yeah, and they're on Facebook. Can you check that out? We're on Facebook. Pull that up for him, buddy. Let's pull that up for him. Get you doing some more Google searching. I know how much he likes Google searching. Yeah. And, yeah, man. Like, no, totally go and do some directing. I think, and don't be scared of writing. Don't be scared of it.
I do have that fear around writing, I think.
It is scary.
Yeah.
It really is. But it's just because it's scary doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Give it a go and go, nah, fucking hate this, ain't doing this. But try and you don't even necessarily need palm cards. Just write out just draw a map of cue points.
Yeah.
Just bullet points. Just bullet point your whole film. Do a whole bunch of bullet points. Andreas Tumas, he gave me some really good advice. And this is advice that I really resonate with. Pick 12 locations that are within your reach. Pick 12 actors that you know.
Yeah.
Write a story that's appropriate for that space and those people.
Oh, I love that.
It's really simple advice.
Yeah.
It's really simple advice.
I love that.
Don't go, all right, so they land on Mars, right?
Yeah. Because you
All
can't get to Mars.
You can't get to Mars and you've just spent $1 million in CGI. Can't do that film right now. Write something. Because he did one. His film's out there. It's just them sitting around a dinner table having an argument. It's a feature film. So you've got 12 actors that change, and they change rooms around the house. Yeah. So that way you get the it starts off with 12, maybe it's 6 people around a table actually. Yeah. But you've got 6 actors that are doing overlap. So you get that overlap dialogue, you get that realism, that Spike Lee sort of realism in there, a little bit of improv, and then they split off into different rooms and they follow their plot points. Like
That's cool. I like that.
16 days, 1 year of editing, feature film. Done it on a.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You probably shot that film on like less than $5,000.
Wow.
Looks like you spent 60.
Really?
Yeah, it looks really good. Looks really good. But that's all about choosing your battlefield.
Yeah.
Choose your battlefield. Acting is a battlefield, people. Stolen that though. Love is a battlefield. I know. Don't sue me. Yeah, there we go. Can we switch up that? Yeah, we go. We got Atomic Kingdom. Go and check out Atomic Kingdom on Facebook. Go and watch their web series. You can find their links on YouTube, of course. Yep. Go and give them a like. Go give them a subscription. And hey, while you're at it, go subscribe to the Pager Train. But anywho, I'm definitely going to check out doing Shiraz and Coca-Cola.
Yes,
I'm definitely going to put that together. You check out some mimosas.
I will.
I'll
get some writing, some plot points.
Yeah. Plot points, directing, acting,
yep.
Right, and going on that journey of finding ourselves and figuring out who we are.
Definitely.
Because we're on this big spinning ball of dirt going around this red star. Yeah. And we're trying to figure out what it all means.
Definitely. And do what you love at all times.
Do what you love. I think that's the best message out of this podcast is do what you love.
Yep.
Well, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on, Jess. So thank you for being on the show.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. And guys, look, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Apple iTunes. And I've recently been informed by some of other audiences, I think it's about 6% of you out there, that I'm on Amazon, which is fantastic. But of course, you can find us on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, you can go across to our Facebook page, tick like, and while you're at it, go and check out Instagram. Some people are trying to bend my arm into Twitter. Bend it further, guys. It ain't happening, okay? But you guys have been watching the Pager Train, and we'll see you next time. That's it.
Cool. That was fun.
That was my best sign-off of the year. Were you happy with that sign-off, Wade? No.
Yeah.
Thanks for the enthusiasm, bro.
That was good.
Yeah,
that
cool.
was fun.
All right. Yeah, that was a really good